Good morning, everyone. We've reached hump day, and boy, is it rainy out. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been rainy all week.
It's been rainy all week.
It continues to rain.
Okay, since March 1st, we've had 9.5 inches of rain. We had 1.5 inches of rain yesterday. We'll get another 1/2 inch to inch today. It has been an incredibly soggy and cool spring. Yeah, just amazing. Well, you know, we had the crazy thunderstorms in the area yesterday and last night. In fact, we had some really intense thunderstorms at our house right around 6 o'clock last night, and I looked outside, and there was the biggest hail I think I've seen ever since we've lived at our house.
You've seen a lot of hail.
I've seen a lot of hail over the years.
She's a hail pro.
So what I did is I opened the slider door, I reached outside, I grabbed a chunk of hail, and then I got a penny and a nickel from my purse because I thought this will give you some perspective as to how big it is. This is almost inch diameter hail.
So it's almost like a quarter.
And yeah, almost quarter size hail. I know I didn't have a quarter, unfortunately, but yeah, it was part of the. In that I timed it out as I looked at the storm reports. That's probably the same cell that produced what they suspect was a tornado in northern Allegan County. The National Weather Service officials are going out to do a site survey today to see whether it was actually strong winds.
Well, that turkey farm indoor, I mean, the damage there did really just show, you know, thank goodness there weren't that many animals that were, you know, hurt in that, but tore out a barn there. It's incredible seeing that devastation this morning. Right,
and even to me, more poignant than even that was the 9 people who were struck by lightning on the soccer field in Portage. And I'm going to say, I have to get on my soapbox here, Rachel, because I have been for 2 decades talking to thousands and thousands and thousands of school kids all across West Michigan about the danger of lightning. And you know, anytime you're close enough to a thunderstorm that you can hear the thunder, you're close enough to get struck by lightning, whether you ever see a flash of lightning or not. And I actually have this brochure because, you know, there's a huge effort by meteorologists, the National Weather Service, and also the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to educate people about the dangers of lightning, and particularly when it comes to youth sports, because this time of the year we have so many people outside. And this is actually a safety guide, coaches and parents and sports officials guide to lightning safety here, and they call it here, I think it's really poignant, the underrated killer.
Well, you brought a good point there for parents, coaches, and sports officials, because the kids will kind of not pay attention to things. And so the adults really need to be responsible in making these calls, and better safe than sorry in all circumstances.
Well, it was interesting because Dr. Elderkin, our friend Renee, was at a softball game out in Ottawa County, and she texted me and she said there are tornado watches out for all these other counties, and she said I can hear thunder around here, and I said you need to go and tell them to clear that field. And so then she texted me back, she said they finally did clear the field because it's just, you know, it can be so, you know, people just don't estimate the intensity of the lightning, and
how fast it happens.
How fast it happens, and how far lightning can travel. You can get struck by lightning from a storm that may be 5 to 6 miles away. And so again, the good rule of thumb is anytime you can hear the thunder, you are in danger of getting struck by lightning. So head inside. We don't get often weather conditions here that make us take immediate action. So again, do yourself a favor. And again, 9 people, kids and adults, struck by lightning yesterday in Portage, which is really, really too bad. So anyway, I'll be on my soapbox, and if you're interested,
it's a good soapbox, though. I mean, you don't want to just say, hey, you know what, just be careful.
Right. And so anyway, I have a whole bunch of these. Email me. You can get me through the 8 West Facebook, or I'll get some information online, and we'll attempt to get these into the hands of as many people as possible, because I think it's just really important information there. Good reminder.
Well, jumping off from that cautionary tale, it's the story of the week. We just can't ignore it, and we're not going to ignore it, because on Friday is going to be the wedding of the century. Kate and William are getting married in London. We've been waiting for this date for a long time now, and of course, as media, you just can't escape it. I mean, it's everywhere. There are specials. There's going to be coverage starting, because in some places starting at 4 a.m. in the U.S., because the wedding ceremony actually takes place at 6 a.m. where we live here. Obviously, it's a different time in London, but here at 8 West, we're planning a special show for the royal wedding. We're going to have all things royal on that day. We're going to have a lot of local connections to some things that are really exciting and how local people are celebrating.
Well, you know, it is really exciting because it's so super early in the morning. Just to kind of give you an illustration, NBC is starting their live coverage at 4 a.m. So Daybreak, which is, of course, our morning show, will be on WXSP. So we'll have local news and weather coverage while NBC NBC
Does a
goes
special
to
coverage.
programming of all things royal. But I'm going to confess here.
Things are heating up.
I loved Princess Diana. I remember watching her wedding to Prince Charles, and it was, you know, for me, that was part of my generation. And I had not been too interested in the William and Kate story until I found myself getting really sucked into the coverage of the excitement of planning it here on 8 West, and then, of course, starting with Dateline on Sunday on NBC. I started watching that, and I've been DVRing all of these
And there's a special
specials
tonight at 8 o'clock that Dateline's doing, too, with Meredith and Matt. So I was thinking, I might try to watch that or DVR that, because it is really getting exciting. We're just a couple days away. And just for a taste of what we're doing on Friday, we're doing some great stories about, you know, Kate's favorite dessert. We're going to go to a local place, and a local pastry chef is going to show us how they're doing that and how they're celebrating at one place in town. We're going to have Kate's looks for less, of how you can go shopping and you can look like Kate, because we all know she's already becoming this big style icon, and people are copying her look and what she's wearing. I brought in a couple of the items. We have a table full of things in our office that's kind of taking over, and I brought in some of the items. You can see a really beautiful ring here. Well, that looks like the engagement ring. That one's belonged to Diana. And right next to it, the black fascinator, because hats and fascinators are going to be all the rage in London this Friday, this weekend for that matter. And then this beautiful purse. You know, all of these items were purchased locally, and you certainly won't pay for these items what you might pay for the original items.
Right, exactly.
But we put together some outfits, and the cool thing about it is we're going to be giving those clothes away to some lucky viewers. We have so many great things. We're going to be talking about English gardens. We're going to have special guests in. It's going to be a really fun show, so you should put 8 West on your calendar if it isn't already. For this Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And in the spirit of things, I thought that I would bring some Kate and Will facts. Just so you can get even more in the spirit.
That sounds like a,
you know, impress your friends while you're watching the special, your family. Kate's 5 months older than Will. You know, she's actually 29.
I remember hearing that she was the older woman.
She is the older woman, slightly. She reportedly calls him Big Willie.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
I guess everybody has a nickname.
Well, he's tall.
Yeah, there you go.
So
hey, you know what?
That's original, Big Willie.
My husband's name's William, and I'm
Big Willie.
And he's tall. So, you know, how do you think Bill would react if I started calling him Big Willie?
I think he would kind of look at you like, what?
What? I have other nicknames for him.
And then also they dated for nearly 8 years before being engaged. Of course, their love story is documented very well. They met while they were college age. You know, there was a fashion show. He noticed her. She was like, wow. And so really cool things happening here in the United States and definitely across the pond, celebrating this wedding of a century. You know, everyone's going to be watching of what kind of dress she's wearing. Obviously, a lot of speculation about the weather, because it's been rainy there as well.
It had been so gorgeous. It had been so gorgeous. I mean, it had been unseasonably warm and so sunny. And unfortunately, the weather has taken a bit of a turn here, so we're hoping that maybe they can square out some dry weather for the wedding, and of course
they're used to that in London. I mean, if you've ever been there, I've been there a couple times, and it's always kind of moist, and that's their climate there all the time. But certainly, if you're going to be outside in open carriages, you want some dry weather.
And all the people standing there waiting to catch a glimpse, hopefully, of the royal couple.
I know. So it should be a fabulous day, and we are sharing in the celebration on Friday. So really looking forward to that.
Very excited.